Have you ever stopped to think why, even when you make an effort to take care of your health and maintain good hygiene, something seems to betray your age? It's a strange feeling, as if despite your daily shower and all your care, certain parts of your body insist on sending silent signals that something isn't quite right. Sometimes it's a persistent smell, an appearance that you notice is a bit neglected. Small details, but they end up communicating more than you would like. Now, what if I told you that this doesn't have to be directly linked to aging? What if the real problem lies in areas you simply haven't paid enough attention to? And most importantly, that taking care of them can be much simpler than you imagine. Today, I want to open your eyes to a topic almost no one talks about, but one that can completely transform the relationship you have with your body. And I'm here to have a conversation with you with the total honesty you deserve. Because look, after years of studying the human body and wellness, I've learned one fundamental thing. Taking care of ourselves goes far beyond aesthetics. It's about respect, dignity, and the genuine desire to live well, with total autonomy, for as long as possible. The 5 areas we will explore today aren't just cleaning details. They are key points. They are true entryways for infections, circulatory problems, and that silent inflammation that, over time, deteriorates health and accelerates the aging process. And the worst part is that almost no one mentions it. Health professionals often assume patients already know this information, so they avoid bringing it up. And meanwhile, these small oversights accumulate until they become serious problems. But before we dive into these 5 essential areas, I need to ask you something simple. If you take your well-being seriously, if you truly want to age in a healthy and independent way, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This conversation goes far beyond hygiene. It's about regaining control of your body and your life. Starting at the base, let's talk about the first area, the feet. Yes, the feet. It sounds obvious, but they are one of the most forgotten parts in daily self-care, and at the same time, one of the most important for our independence. Have you noticed that walking has become more difficult lately? That your steps are less firm, or that the simple act of putting on your shoes has become an uncomfortable task? Many people attribute it to age, but in reality, many of these problems could be alleviated with a simple care routine. Your feet are, literally, the foundation of your independence. When they start to fail, the rest of your body feels it. However, most people only pay attention to them when pain appears, and by then, it's a sign that something has been neglected for too long. From a health perspective, poor foot care is a breeding ground for fungus, bacteria, and circulatory problems. And that's not an exaggeration. Studies show that older people who neglect their feet have a much higher risk of falling, losing mobility, and even developing serious infections. Things like accumulated dead skin, moisture trapped between the toes, or improperly cut nails, even if they seem insignificant, create the perfect environment for pathogens to enter your body. And once in the bloodstream, they can cause serious problems. In other words, taking care of your feet isn't just a matter of comfort, it's a matter of health and safety. When the skin on your feet cracks or forms thick calluses, the discomfort goes beyond aesthetics. These changes limit blood circulation and, when combined with fungal infections, can affect other areas of the body. But there is something almost no one talks about. Caring for your feet is also maintaining a connection with the world around you. Well-cared-for feet keep the nerves active, which helps you maintain balance, step firmly, and keep walking independently. So, when you wash them, do it with intention. Spend time on the area between the toes, over the nails, around the heels. All those little corners deserve your attention. This contact stimulates circulation and maintains the sensitivity essential for preventing trips. And remember, technique is important. Use warm water, never hot, and a mild soap. But the most crucial thing of all is to dry them completely, especially between the toes. Moisture there is the main cause of fungus. A light moisturizer can help, but avoid applying it in that area. I've had patients who avoided leaving the house because of the discomfort and smell of their feet. In a matter of weeks, with a simple daily routine, not only did the problem disappear, but they regained the confidence to walk again and enjoy their lives. Now let's move on to the second critical area, behind the ears. That forgotten corner that everyone sees, except you. It's funny how such a small part of the body can say so much about us. In that subtle fold, much more than dirt accumulates. It's an area showing signs of neglect that, although invisible to you, are evident to others. And worst of all, it is one of the places most prone to bacterial proliferation. The skin in this area produces natural oil, called sebum, sheds dead cells, and collects environmental pollutants throughout the day. If this mixture isn't removed regularly, bad odors and irritation occur. But it doesn't stop there. Research shows that chronic neglect of areas like this can trigger inflammatory chain reactions in the body. Inflammation that starts locally on the skin can spread and affect joints, blood vessels, and even the brain. Yes, you heard right. There is a proven link between chronic low-grade inflammation and the progression of diseases like arthritis, heart problems, and cognitive decline. But there's an even deeper aspect. When you start ignoring certain parts of your body, you send yourself a dangerous message that they no longer matter. And this kind of neglect can gradually affect other areas of your life. The solution is very simple. When you shower, remember this area. Use a washcloth or soft sponge with a gentle soap and carefully clean behind your ears. It's a quick gesture, almost automatic, but one that represents something much bigger. The daily decision to continue taking care of yourself completely. Let's move to area 3, the underarms, the meeting point between detoxification, wellness, and our social life. The underarms are much more than just a place where sweat accumulates. They are a true filtration station for our body. Key lymph nodes are found there that help eliminate toxins. When this area is neglected, the problem goes beyond the smell. You could be compromising the effectiveness of your own immune system. The underarm environment is perfect for bacterial growth. It's warm, moist, and rich in glands that produce a type of sweat rich in proteins, the favorite food of bacteria. By metabolizing these proteins, they release the substances that cause the characteristic odor. What most people don't know is that poor hygiene here can lead to mild, constant infections that overload the lymph nodes and, over time, weaken the immune system. There is also the psychological factor. When people feel embarrassed by their own smell, they tend to isolate themselves. They avoid social gatherings, stop exercising, and distance themselves. And this isolation isn't just sad, it's dangerous. Various studies have linked social distancing with cognitive decline and depression, especially in older adults. Therefore, taking care of your underarms is a comprehensive health strategy. Use an antibacterial soap and massage gently from the bottom up to encourage lymphatic drainage. Dry the area well and consider using a natural deodorant that doesn't completely block your pores. A little tip: while you shower, gently massaging your underarms activates lymphatic circulation and can even boost your energy levels. You will feel cleaner and more confident to enjoy a full life. By the way, if you are finding these tips useful, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment about which country you are watching us from. This way I'll be able to better understand how to help you. We arrive at area number 4, the belly button, the little ecosystem that almost everyone forgets. You might think your belly button doesn't need attention. It's there, in the center of your body, half hidden. But in reality, it's a world apart. A curious study revealed that the human belly button can host, on average, 67 different types of bacteria, a complete micro-ecosystem that most people ignore. And why is this a problem? Because this area, if not cleaned regularly, becomes a haven for harmful bacteria, fungus, and dirt, which can cause local infections or even spread. And let's be honest, it's easy to forget it in the shower. The belly button doesn't hurt or bother you until it starts to smell bad or gets inflamed. Taking care of it is simple. When bathing, use your fingertips or a cotton swab with warm water and mild soap. Clean gently, especially if you have a deep belly button. Then, dry it completely. From a health perspective, belly button infections can be problematic for older adults as bacterial growth triggers an inflammatory response that can become systemic, meaning it spreads throughout the body and aggravates pre-existing conditions like diabetes or arthritis. But taking care of your belly button goes beyond the physical. It has a powerful symbolic meaning. It is your first connection to life. Cleaning it is a simple act that requires attention. Ideally, use a moistened cotton swab. Don't rub too hard. If you notice a strong or persistent smell, consult a doctor. We then arrive at Area 5, the groin, the meeting point between the upper and lower body, where blood vessels, lymph nodes, and nerves essential for mobility circulate. Neglecting this area goes far beyond superficial hygiene. Lack of care can lead to fungal infections, bacterial proliferation, and chronic inflammation that hinder your ability to walk comfortably. The groin is full of folds that trap moisture and dirt, creating an environment conducive to itching and constant discomfort, symptoms that limit freedom of movement. Geriatric studies show that older adults with chronic infections in this area reduce their physical activity, which accelerates muscle loss, decreases bone density, and drastically increases the risk of falls. Additionally, discomfort can affect the way you walk, causing back pain and hip problems. Groin care requires special attention. Always use a mild, pH-balanced soap. When washing, pay close attention to the skin folds. Afterward, it is essential to dry the area thoroughly. If you are prone to these irritations, a natural antifungal powder can help keep everything under control. But why is all this so important? Because these 5 areas we have analyzed are not limited to hygiene. They are key to maintaining proper body function, circulation, and strengthening natural defenses. By neglecting them, you not only facilitate the appearance of odors, but you compromise the overall functioning of your body. Excess bacteria and the inflammation they cause create a cycle of chronic inflammation that, unfortunately, accelerates aging and increases the risk of serious diseases. Maintaining good hygiene in these areas helps your body recover and strengthen itself naturally. Your path to well-being doesn't have to be complicated, but it does require constant attention and care. If these tips have given you a new perspective, I invite you to take the next step. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. I want to hear from you. Leave a comment saying, "I choose Integral Wellness," and tell me where you are watching us from. And if you know someone who could benefit from this information, share this video. Sometimes a simple gesture is the push someone needs. Remember, every small decision counts towards your well-being. Knowledge is your best tool for maintaining your independence and quality of life. Your health is your most precious asset, and you have much more control over it than you think. Start today, little by little, but with intention. Your future self will thank you. Stay safe, subscribe, and see you next time.